So appreciate everybody tapping in. I want to hear your opinions. If you guys aren't getting the Araneta fight, it's the co-main on the Tokyo card, Brian Norman Jr., just be patient because they're marketing that fight on Top Rank. And generally, when you see the promotions come out and the analysis, you'll get to bet on those cards. My problem right now, and I said this in my breakdown video, and I'm kind of biting the bullet on this one, I knew that those odds would shift on Brian Norman Jr. Last night when I uploaded my breakdown, Brian Norman Jr. to stop Sasaki was $2.30. So $100 gets you your money back plus 130. Those odds have dropped just for Norman to stop Sasaki from 231 to 189 now on my book. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I'm obviously taking Norman Jr. to win. I'm either going to go super heavy on just him to stop Sasaki and just sit there and watch that one fight and then with that victory carry that over into the weekend. If I don't go that route, I then might do a knockdown prop bet over one and parlay that with something. I'll let you guys know my specifics. But yeah, the odds are definitely shifting. So if you love Brian Norman Jr. to stop him, guys, and you could bet on that, I would get on it right now. Because in my video, I told you guys, the closer we get to fight night, those odds were going to go down. And that's what's happening. The bettors, a lot of you bet, a lot of the money is Vegas, Americans. It's Monday now. You guys had your weekend. And yesterday was my Monday, your Sunday. And I said, once Monday comes around for America and the bettors see those odds, there's going to be a lot of money coming in on Norman. And that's exactly what happened. So right now, even the money line changed. Even the money line changed. Last night on the money line, Norman Jr. was $1.24. He's $1.19 now. Jin Sasaki was a 3-1 underdog yesterday. He's a 4-1 dog now. Sasaki is too fast, too strong for Norman. Can handle Santine, was beating him until that knockdown. So if you think Jin Sasaki is too fast and too strong for Brian Norman Jr., you have to watch more Jin Sasaki. Jin Sasaki will not have the speed advantage against Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. is handily the faster fighter. He has the better feet. He uses the whole ring. He has more power. The issue and the problem, Anonymous, is going to be the narrative in this fight, right off jump, is going to be about game planning. We already know what Jin Sasaki is going to do coming into this fight. We know what he wants to do. He wants to fight you in the pocket. My issue with that style for him, couple things. He doesn't set his combos up with his jab. He'll come in a bit naked, kind of like we talked about with George Kambosos Jr., and look what Hitchens' jab did to him. He also loves to work the body, and Sasaki's best punches to me are his body punches. The problem with a body puncher who doesn't set that up, doesn't go up top first, he leaves his head susceptible to getting countered in the pocket. He not only does that in his tape, he doesn't move the head at all. He doesn't level change either. A lot of guys, high level at the world class, you'll throw and duck, throw, slip, that sort of thing. Sasaki's here the whole time. So for you to say that Sasaki's going to have the speed advantage and power, I disagree. I think the one advantage that Sasaki has over Brian Norman Jr., and this isn't supposed to sound like a conspiracy theorist, is fighting in his home country. Because the later this fight goes, if it does start going to the 10th, 11th, 12th rounds, I think that Norman Jr. would have to worry about if it goes to a decision. Just based off, you got the champion traveling from America 7,000 miles, and you got the hometown kid fighting in Japan, in Tokyo. I think that is a major issue Norman will have to, deal with if it does go to the cards. But I don't see anything Sasaki does. Even when his knockouts, when you watch his highlight reel, he's fighting guys, domestic level Japanese fighters, who are standing and just kind of waiting there for him to get hit. If you watch the Andy Cruz versus Mishiro tape, Cruz fought another Japanese guy. Mishiro didn't punch with Cruz. He just stood there. And that kind of shows you somebody's class level. You always want to punch with a puncher, maybe not hook with a hooker, but you don't want to just stand there in the pocket. Exit. Fight him at a different range. Don't just come into his wheelhouse and not punch with him. That's what Mishiro was doing, and obviously we know how that ended. Now, Sasaki will punch, but Brian Norman will punch with him. So it's that speed, and I think Brian Norman Jr., he's going to be the one who has to decide where he wants this fight to take place. That's where the narrative is going to be, to finish my long-winded thought, is that Norman Jr. will have a decision to make really early if he wants to play that game with Sasaki right off jump, because Norman Jr. has the footwork to make Sasaki try to catch him and box him. Will we see that from him? I don't think so. I think Norman Jr. is one of, if you're a fan of him, the most exciting fighters in that division, because he fights on his front foot. Sasaki fights on his front foot. I think you have to give the resumes to, obviously, Brian Norman Jr. He's also the world champion. The power